and welcome back. I am beyond excited to be here today with you guys with all of my Monster High dolls. They mean a lot to me. Monster High was the first doll line that I collected as an adult. Rather than a kid playing with dolls, these were the first ones that I bought for the purposes of display because they were just so different and unique and fun to me, and I had to have them. I know that they have a special place in a lot of your hearts, and they definitely are very special to me, so I'm super excited to be getting them all out and sharing them with you today. Up until now, they have been in storage bins, unfortunately. After I moved out of my parents' house and in with my fiance, we're in an apartment that doesn't have room to display all of my dolls. I do have some empty shelving back here that we just bought, so I will be putting some of them on display. So this is the first time that I've seen some of these guys in a couple years now. I'm really excited to be able to recapture that joy and share these with you. So let's go for it. I do have them organized by the year that they came out, so that's kind of the sequential order you're going to see them in. So let's get started. So the first one we have here is going to be Laguna Blue and her hydration station from the Dead Tired line. I bought her used, technically off of eBay, but she was in the box when I bought her. So this is what she looks like. I gotta be careful with her because she kind of teeter-totters in there. Next we have probably my favorite doll, which is a bold thing to say considering she's just a basic line, but the OG Spectra. She's actually the first doll that I saw from Monster High that I had to have. She's not the first doll I ended up with because I also bought her new in box off of eBay. But I saw her pictures online and I had to have her. There was no way that I could not have this doll. She was just so beautiful. So, look-see there. I love her so much. Then we have the OG Abby Abominable. You know, I could be biased, but probably the best Abby to me. I think a lot of the originals are kind of the best designs, but gorgeous gal. I do also, with all of these, have all of the accessories that they came with. They're just in a separate bag so that they didn't get lost in the storage bin, so I ziplocked them all together to keep them safe. So I do have all of her goodies and Spectras and everybody else's as well. Then I have here another Spectra. I don't have a stand for her. I bought this doll loose off of eBay. So she was originally a Dot Dead Gorgeous Spectra, but I bought the Spectra Vondergeist fashion pack that they came out with because I thought her outfit was super cute. So I put that on her. I'm pretty sure the doll came naked, so good way to clothe her. Then we have here the Dot Dead Gorgeous Laguna Blue. To be honest with this doll, I bought her for the shoes because I loved the shoes, and then she also had like this cool purse that she came with that I have, like I said, in the bag. She's not my favorite now. There's nothing really wrong with her design. It's just not like my personal favorite out of, the 52 dolls that I have, but she's still pretty cool looking. Then we have here Scarily Ever After Draculaura. She's so gorgeous. Again, one of my absolute favorite dolls. When I was in high school photography, I actually did a photo shoot with her. I have no idea where those photos have gone, but I love her. And then we have Nefera Denial. So this is the only doll that originally came with a stand that I don't have a stand for. Like some of the others, I did buy her secondhand off of eBay. When I bought her, there were some new in-box listings, but that was wildly outside of my price range, and I was okay with getting a loose doll. My main priority was, it's very tiny, so potentially hard to see here, but she has a ring on her hand, and a lot of the Nefera dolls of the original doll have lost that ring because it's so tiny. It's held on by a rubber band, so any kids that got a hold of it almost certainly have lost that. So I found this listing, and she did still have her ring. She didn't have her stand, and I figured it would be easier to find another stand for her to stand on rather than it would be to replace the ring. So this is my girl. Next up, we have got the original Venus McFlytrap. She actually was the first doll that I ever bought in store and overall, so she has a lot of nostalgia for me. I just love the character. Her design is so different with a shaved head and kind of like punky, but like also environmental aesthetic. I don't know, I kind of relate to it. Super fun for me. Then from the same release, we have the original Rebecca Steam. Her hair is looking a little worse for wear from the years, so I will definitely have to restyle her at some point. She is not looking the best. Still a gorgeous design though, and definitely salvageable. Next up, we actually have a 2-pack. So this was a Create a Monster 2-pack with the Blob Girl and then the Ice Monster. This particular line of Create a Monster packs only came with one stand and then one set of shoes, so you can see the Ice Girl is barefoot here. At some point I would love to purchase her some shoes, maybe like some loose Abby ones would look good, because, you know, it's a little bit sad, but I thought their designs were very interesting, so even despite the inequality in accessories that they came with, I had to get them. Same story with these gals. We have the 2-pack Create a Monster of the Mummy and then the Gorgon. You can tell that I like the weird hair, yeah? But again, I just thought the designs were interesting. Mostly, I thought the Gorgon was pretty cool, and then the Mummy Girl was cute, so went ahead for it. Next, we have Gigi Grant from the 13 Wishes line, so the original Gigi. She did have a rubber band in her hair here that has since degraded over time, so it's falling over a little bit. Again, definitely one that I would love to wash and restyle and get it back in its perfect condition. But she was cool looking. I mean, how can you resist genie hair? It's so rad. And then we have Honey Swamp from the Frights Camera Action line. I had to have this doll mostly because of her hair. It's so cool. It's so like bouncy and soft even after all these years. The curly hair definitely held up better over time than some of the straight-haired dolls did. So she's still looking pretty great. Definitely a very unique doll, even by Monster High standards. From the same line, I have Viperine Gorgon here. I was absolutely in love with her color scheme. I just think like the pastel colors, the pink and like the blonde, super, super pretty. And then her little glasses, I mean, so cute. Loved her. Still love her. Once again, from that Frights Camera Action line, we have got Elizabeth. I'm not like, you know, full goth. Obviously, you guys have seen me in videos and I don't dress like full goth fashion, but I really, really appreciate it, and I do kind of dress on the edgier side. So Elizabeth was a must-have with her dark clothes, her purple hair. Just a super fun, you know, vampy gal. She is a vampire, so. Then we have the original Catty Noir. I do have the stand for her, but since it is like a saddle stand rather than a around the waist stand, she doesn't balance quite as well, so for the purposes of being able to show her off, easier to hold her. Her hair is definitely a disaster. When I was younger, I tried to fix it, but I was too scared to take off the doll head and kind of do everything properly. So again, she's one that needs a fix-up now that I'm a little bit more confident with those sorts of things, so we'll definitely have to do that for her in the future. Next, we have one that didn't come with a stand. She was kind of a, not budget doll, but you know, like the skinny box ones that they used to have that didn't come with all the extra accessories. So this is Music Fest Venus McFlytrap. I remember distinctly when I got her, she was on sale and I was like so excited I had to snap that up. As you may be able to guess, same deal goes for the Music Fest Abby. She looked really cool, kind of like a boho vibe, which is not what I would expect necessarily from a, you know, like Yeti monster, but looks really, really good on her. And I had to have her. Then we have Swim Class Draculaura. With this line, I actually really enjoyed the plasticky details on them. I'm like a weird sucker for translucent stuff and plastic clothing, so great for me. Next up, we have Picture Day Operetta. I didn't manage to get my hands on the original Operetta, but I had to have one of her. And Picture Day was my second favorite one, so snapped her up when I saw her in a store. This here is going to be the Coffin Bean Torlai. I know some people are seeing these pop up in like Ross's. I purchased her a while ago, so she is not a new exciting find for me, but she looks great. I loved her back then, love her now. I'm a cat person, so like sucker for the werecats. Then from Freaky Fusion, we have Avia Trotter. I loved the hybrids from this line. They were all super, super fun, and like the idea of mixed monsters was really interesting to me. Plus, she was the first Monster High girl that had like a horse sort of body to her. Very unique. Was super excited to have her. Same line there, we have Serena Von Boo, so the ghost and mermaid gal. I also am obsessed with mermaids, so the second that I saw her, I had to have her. Her hair is super, super unique. Just like all the little details in there, fun braids on the side. And overall her design was literally flawless to me. She's for sure one of my favorites. Next we have the Freaky Fusion Nathan Rott. He was the first male doll that I ever got, which was a fun landmark for me. Then I have the I Heart Fashion Wedona Spider. I was super excited for them to do a regular release for her character since originally she released as an SDCC exclusive. I did not go to the San Diego Comic-Con, nor did I purchase her online, so being able to get this version of her character was very exciting for me. Then we have from the Haunted line, Vendala Doubloons. Again, with the clear plastic accessories. Loved the hat. Just liked the idea of kind of like a pirate gal. I thought that was very fun. And the color combinations were interesting for a pirate. It wasn't what I would typically see, so I liked the originality there. Also from Haunted, we have got River Styx. She is by far my favorite Haunted doll. She's got sort of clear accents on the ends of her limbs there, much like Spectra. And for some reason, I'm really weirdly obsessed with her little cloak, even though it's literally just a piece of black mesh. I don't make these decisions, it just kind of happens to me. But, beautiful doll. Next we have the Gloom and Bloom Cleo Denial. She was the first Cleo I purchased. She was never my favorite character, not because of her character in the webisodes, but actually just because I thought she looked the most human out of everybody, clearly. So it was less exciting for me, but this design sold me. I had to get her, and I did get a few after that. She kind of turned me into more of a Cleo fan. This one is another I Heart Fashion doll. Obviously we have Venus here. I love this dress. I would wear this 100%. And the checkers in her hair, it's very like, it's reminiscent to me of old school kind of like alternative culture, and I love that. Like I said, the other Cleo turned me into a bit of a fan, so this is the I Heart Fashion Cleo. Loved the skirt, the hair color, very pretty. We have got then Costa Fierce here. She was kind of way, way overproduced. There were tons of her. She's still pretty easy to find online compared to other dolls especially. So I think she gets a little bit less love. I would argue that out of the like non-reboot dolls, she's maybe one of the lesser popular ones. But I think she's still quite fun. She's got a very traditional Halloween color scheme. She's a witch. So a little bit stereotypical or cliche maybe, but Monster High I feel like almost had to do a doll like this, where they played into those classic like Halloween things. And I still really like her. Next up we've got another Create a Monster doll. This one is from the Inner Monster line. So her eyes can change. This is how I've got her set up. I did also give her long wig a chop into a bob to give it some extra personalization. It's not a great job, especially from like the back. She's not looking too great. But I was younger. I definitely didn't know what I was doing at that point in time. And I still think she looks better with a bob than with the long hair. So, good for me. Okay. Surprise! It's another Cleo. This one is from the Boo York 2 set, clearly. I was in love with how they did the bronze instead of the gold for her color scheme. I thought that change really made her look cool, just flat out cool. And then the hair, I hope it shows up on camera. Instead of being teal and black, it was very, very dark blue and black. So it's kind of just a sheen. Gorgeous. And then this was my first and only Deuce doll. Obviously he came with Cleo. And I do love his like sweater design here. So I was so happy to find a 2-pack that I liked both dolls where I wasn't just buying it for one or the other. Love both of these. Alright, I don't even know if you can actually see me. Clearly this takes up a lot of space. If you can't guess, Freak de Chic was my favorite line. I bought most of the dolls and the playset, which is the only playset that I ever bought for Monster High. It was the only one that I ever cared about. So we have Rochelle, who came with the playset. She is my only Rochelle. Love her very much. We have Toralei, Twyla, which, like, the stilts, come on, great, love it. We have the Honey Swamp Marionette. I love her loose joints. Obviously, normally that's a bad thing on a doll, but on her, being a marionette doll, it looks so cool. And we have Calliope Jellington, the first, like, supersized doll that they did with the extra articulation, so you know that I was obsessed with her. I love this whole line. I love the circus. Like, circus stuff is just so interesting and fun. I love carnivals and all that stuff. So I went a little nuts with this. I am missing a couple of the dolls. Maybe someday I'll fill those in, because by far this was my favorite line. Now that I can see you again, we have got the Brand Boo students, Batsy Claro here. Her face is probably one of my favorites from all of Monster High. I think the colors are so fun. The lime green is just so good with that pale, pale pink. I love lime green anyway. I think it's a fantastic color. I'm not a huge fan of the clothes that she comes with. I don't know. I think they're kind of meh, but I couldn't pass up on her. So here we are. Then from Great Scarier Reef, we have got Perry and Pearl Serpentine. Again, I love mermaids, and she's not a mermaid per se, but this line, I know it didn't speak to a lot of people. A lot of people found it kind of lacking or not their favorite. I liked it because it was sea creatures, so that is these two. Also thought it was super cool that they produced a doll with 2 heads, so definitely very unique. Next we have Calamari, which I literally just realized is supposed to sound like calamari. So good on me for taking years to get a pretty obvious pun there. That aside though, again, just like a very different, unique sort of doll. And here we have got another 3-pack. This is the Ghoulebrities in London pack. So we have got Elizabeth here, Viperine, and Caddy. I can't remember if this came with 1 stand rather than 3, or if I'm just crazy and misplaced them, but I've obviously only got the 1 stand. I did really buy this pack just for these 2 gals. I think both of their designs were really, really fun and different, but I don't like Caddies as much. I kind of feel bad for saying that because she's such like a fun gal, but I just think this design was not my favorite. She came in a 3-pack though, and I'm not complaining about having her, so there we are. Ghoulebrities in London. Next up we have got my collector's edition Draculara. She's the only doll I've ever bothered to keep in box, or to keep the box at all, because it's a work of art in and of itself. And with this being like a collector doll, I did want to kind of keep her in her original display. She isn't tied down with the rubber bands or anything in there. I did take those all out very, very carefully and kind of open her up so I could display her without the box if I ever wanted to. But for now, I like how she looks in here. I love this doll. I'm really sad they never did other ones because all of the detail and like the crazy Victorian style, it looks so, so cool, and I would have loved to have seen them last long enough to do more of these, but at least we got this one. At least I get to have her. Next up, we've got maybe the only Monster High doll that I actively regret purchasing. This is Laguna Blue, the Surf to Turf with her scooter. I do like the scooter idea. I think that that was cool. The doll herself is not my favorite. She's kind of boring. Honestly, this was after the reboot, and I think I was just so saddened by it that I was kind of buying any doll that even remotely piqued my interest that was, you know, post-reboot. And she was one of literally 3. So I got her. She's definitely not my favorite now. Looking at her kind of makes me sad because I miss like the OG, like original styles, but at the time this was like my way of coping with the reboot, so I ended up with her. And we've got Draculaura from Shriek-Wrecked. She looks really, really cool with like the nautical theme. I think it fits Draculaura quite well. This was easily my favorite post-reboot line. I think they did a really good job actually of designing the characters. They just didn't look quite like Monster High, in my opinion. It was also one of the last lines where Mattel gave them articulation here, and after that they started phasing that out and doing more of the budget dolls. Very sad, hurts my heart, but at least we got Shriek-Wrecked as kind of a last hurrah. And the last doll I have for you guys today is Dana Treasure Jones, also from Shriek-Wrecked. Interesting concept. I think, again, it would have been better, like, pre-reboot. Would have been cool to see what Mattel could have come up with if they were allowed to push the envelope a little bit more. But she's still an interesting doll. Happy to have her. Next up, we've got my Monster High vinyls. I really enjoyed these little vinyl figurines. I thought they were cute and fun. Didn't get all of them. I kind of just got my most favorite characters. So these are the 4 that I've got. Way better than the Funko Pops. I like Funko, but not the Monster High Funkos. Those were so weird to me. Didn't like them at all. But these are super, super cute. Last but not least are my Monster High minis. I bought all of these when Toys R Us was closing down, so everything was on sale. I bought one as a curiosity and then really liked it, so I just kept buying them until my local store was sold out. And, you know, that was that. So I'll do a quick little montage showing you all of those. So, that is my Monster High collection. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of it. It was really nice for me to go through and see all the dolls that I used to love and that I still love so much and kind of feel all that nostalgia. I definitely want more Monster High dolls. Obviously the price has skyrocketed just because they aren't being produced anymore. They're worth it to me though. So in the future I might have some like eBay Monster High hauls for you. We shall see what the future brings, but I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please do give it a like, comment, tell me what you were feeling, subscribe if you want to see more from me, and have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.